All right, taking the big boy out today. Giving the GS a test ride. This is not my first time on the 1300GS. I took it out for a test ride once before. I've also test rode the Multistrada, which you can see by clicking on that card right up there. I have pretty much narrowed my new bike search down to the GS and the Multistrada. The last time I rode this bike, and it was actually this particular bike, there was a problem. I was doing some 60 to 100 roll-ons, and I noticed that a ton of smoke was pouring out the back. There was also a weird pulsing when I would cruise between 3,000 and 4,000 RPM. I'm between that now. I don't feel a thing. So hopefully, it turned out, oh, I can feel the heated grips coming on. That's nice. Easy now. You'll get there, don't worry. I just felt the heated grips come on, and that is welcome because it's fairly cool today. It says on this dash that it's 13 degrees out. It feels a little cooler than that to me. And I'm wearing fairly thin gloves, so having heated grips is really a big plus. And from what I understand, BMW has the industry standard. Wow, I'm going over the speed limit already. So the issue I had with this bike last time was it was pumping out a bunch of smoke when I was doing 60 to 100 roll-ons. So the dealership that I'm riding this out of is Elite Motorcycles in North Toowoomba. The gentleman you would talk to about a bike like this is Lindsay, who's a very cool guy. He remembered the issue that I had, and when I showed up to ask about taking this bike out again, he said, "Hey, remember that problem you had?" "Yes, I do." Turns out there was a recall. There was a bad O-ring or something that was leading to all that smoke pumping out the back when you would do your roll-ons. Oh, cool. That's good to know. It's good to know that there was actually a problem and it was taken care of. So for me, the other big problem was between 3,000 and 4,000 RPM, I would get this weird pulsing. It felt like the engine was searching for something. And that would, if that turns out to be a regular characteristic of this motorcycle, that's a deal killer for me. I didn't enjoy it at all. It made me uncomfortable on the bike, and I'm not going to be uncomfortable on a 40,000 Australian dollar motorcycle. But I don't feel that so far. I'm between 3,000 and 4,000 right now. Now I'm even lower, and it feels good. It feels solid. That's what I ask out of this bike. I am loving these grips. I have the heated seat too. Hey, you know what? On that note, this saddle is really comfortable. More so than I think. I mean, this is the problem. You have to ride bikes back to back. And when I actually do get to the point where I'm going to buy that week, I'm going to ride this one, and I'm going to ride the Multistrada back to back and see which one I really like best. There are things about both that I really like, and I'm actually a little bit stressed out about this decision, which I shouldn't be, because either way, you can't go wrong. This is an amazing bike. The Multistrada is an amazing bike. Either way, I'm getting an amazing bike. and spending an assload of money in the process. But this is really good, man. It's a fairly big bike. It's not as big as the 1250GS was, which I like. Yeah, steers really well, tracks really well, very comfortable. At my age, comfort becomes really important. I'm going faster than I feel like I'm going. But this bike has a good cruise control, so that wouldn't be a huge problem in town, or, you know, on roads like this. This is a great road for testing this bike out too. It's got a couple twists and turns. It also does not have the best surface in the world. So, you know, a good test for the suspension. This saddle is really comfortable. I like it. I could be on this bike all day long. I'm going camping this weekend. I'm going down to Southwest Rocks. I'm going to be camping with my buddy David from Two Wheels In. That's it's going to be about 550 kilometers to get down there. And then actually the first day we're camping in Walcha or something like that. That's about 550 kilometers south. Then the next day we're gonna camp out in Southwest Rocks, which is 2-3 hours east of there, and then it'll be another 600 plus kilometers on the way home. I asked Lindsay if I could take this bike for the weekend. He said, I was thinking more like an hour. Fair enough. That would have been so awesome. Oh well. In total, I'll have tested this bike about 3 times before I'm ready to buy. So, you know, that'll be 3 hours in the saddle. Maybe a little less. The last time I was only out about 40 minutes because of the problems that I mentioned that I was having with the bike. Yeah, this engine feels good, man. It's... Whoo, yeah. It's got some go. I don't know if I love the way the Boxer engine delivers power the way I love the way the Multistrada delivers power. I don't know, but I like it a lot. It's just, I think that would just be something I'd have to get used to. Okay, I just got up on the balls of my feet and I noticed the same thing I noticed about this bike the last time I rode it, which is my left foot is pushed out a little bit. It turns out, I thought it was the swing arm, but no, it turns out it's actually the pillion foot peg. And funnily enough, the Pikes Peak does the same thing. Quick shifter's good. Quick shifter's better than I remembered. Either that or this bike is a little bit more broken in than the last time I rode it. It has not had its first service yet, but it still feels it feels a little more, well, it just feels better than it did the last time. It didn't feel bad last time. I gotta ride longer before I really make any proclamations about this bike, because last time, the first 15-20 minutes I was riding it, I thought this was amazing. I was like, they built this bike for me. What is going on with you guys? And then the problem started. So let's just ride around a little bit. Let's give it I told Lindsay that, oh man, that was tighter than I expected. I told Lindsay that even if this bike has the same problem it did last time, it's literally the same bike. So if it has the same problem, I'm gonna find another one to test out, so I can really understand if it's actually this bike or if it's a characteristic of all 1300 GSs. If it's the latter, I buy something else, or I keep my money in my pocket. You know, either way. But right now, there's nothing that would keep me from buying this bike. It rides really nicely. I'm a happy critter in this cockpit right now. And one thing that this has everything else beat on, including the Multistrada, wind protection. This has the best wind protection of any bike I have ever ridden. The wind is going right over my helmet. There's no buffeting at all. I'm getting hit by wind from the side. Oh, speeding. Sorry, residential people. But, you know, that's just a crosswind. There's nothing this windscreen can do about that. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit more of this, and then I'm going to go out onto the highway and see how the wind protection feels out there. My nose is running because it's chilly. I would love for the sun to come back out. But these grips, man, love them. Love them. Quick shifter's not bad either. I don't remember it being this good. Always got to find a roundabout to go around. I find that roundabouts are really good for determining how good the fueling is. You can really feel it there. If it's snatchy at all, a roundabout is going to let you know. But no, that was very smooth. What is that? Is that the ride height thing? This bike has the ride height assist, I think it's called. The bike that I get will not have that. I'm 187 centimeters. I can easily flat foot this bike, even if it wasn't lowered. So that's not something I'm going to spend money on. I thought about it for a minute because, you know, maybe it'll help with the resale value 5 or 7 years down the road, but for right now, I don't think I'm interested in that. I mean, I'm definitely not for myself. I would be for just resale value. But I think these bikes hold their value pretty well. So I'm not going to worry about that overly much. Yeah, this is a very comfortable position. It's comfortable. Mirrors are better than I thought. Not as good as the Multistrada mirrors. Those are really good mirrors. I haven't been down here in a while. I forgot how crappy this road is. Oh, sweet. Is it raining? Awesome. Just what I want on a test ride. This bike does come with some ancillary benefits. For starters, the BMW dealer, at least the one that I go to, is literally at the end of my block. If the engine died entirely and I was at my house, I could push it out onto the road, and since I live halfway up a fairly steep hill, I could literally coast all the way to the BMW dealer without any trouble whatsoever. Oh, yeah, I guess I should change the mode. Oops. Oh, that's a little harder. Any big clouds of smoke now? Nope. Alright, let's drop the speed a little. Yeah, that gets there. And it did it without a huge cloud of smoke. All right, tick that one off the list. I absolutely expected that one to be fixed. Lindsay told me that they had gotten an advisory from BMW about it. So, you know, they replaced the part that was the problem. Hello, golfers. Anyways, yeah, they replaced that part. Problem fixed. I'm gonna go out to the highway and just cruise. See what it feels like at 100 kph in 6th gear. Yeah, the engine characteristic feels significantly better than the last time I rode this. I like this. I like this bike. Am I going to choose it over the Multistrada? That's what it comes down to. Maybe I just buy it. I could buy this bike and be happy. For the kind of riding I do, this bike might actually be better for me than the Multistrada. So the reason that I was thinking Multistrada over this, well, there's a few. One, I'm not gonna lie, the Multistrada has a little bit of a coolness factor to it that appeals to me. I'm not a cool guy at all, you know, I'm just a guy. So, you know, I might put a little bit more stock in that than I should. But the engine, so right now I'm getting along very well with this motor, but I like the Multistrada engine better. I like the way it breathes, and by that I just mean when I lay into the throttle, it's not blinking frantically saying please upshift. It's gonna breathe a little bit and you're gonna go fast. This isn't bad though. Let's see what else. I think this motorcycle handles really well. I think the Multistrada handles a little bit better, and I'm not really able to test ride the Multistrada that I'm going to get. If I buy a Multi, it's going to be a Pikes Peak, and honestly, this decision might be made for me by fate, because the one that I'm looking at right now is a leftover. It's a 2023 that's being offered to me at a good price. I'm about 2 months away from buying right now, and someone else might buy it. It's a great price. There's a lot of people who really love Ducatis out there. Someone else might make it happen before I have the opportunity. If so, based on this ride so far, I'll happily buy this bike. But yeah, so the Multistrada I did ride was the regular, the V4S, and I think it handled a little bit better than this bike does. I think that the Pikes Peak will handle better still. It's got Öhlins suspension. I have wanted a fully Öhlins suspended bike since I was 14 years old. That's a long time. Yeah, it's got, so basically handling, suspension, motor, the ride is really, really good. But it's just a little bit, and the things that appeal to me about this bike might be a little bit more comfortable. It's got better wind protection. It comes stock with heated grips and seat. I won't have to do any kind of upgrade to buy that. In fact, there's nothing really that I'll have to upgrade on this bike. It comes with the center stand. It comes with all the stuff. The Multistrada, I would have to spend a little bit extra money. That doesn't appeal to me on a bike that already is over $40,000. This bike has, let's see if hill hold is going to work. Yep. This bike has this nice little compartment, which my phone actually fits in. The Multistrada cannot say that. That is not anything I would ever even consider buying one bike over the other for, but it is still nice to have. This bike is more utilitarian looking than the Ducati, and that means that I don't mind putting on crash bars as much. If I buy the Ducati, I'm putting on bobbins, but I think the factory Ducati crash bars are hideously ugly, and I don't want anything to do with them at all. So I'd be buying a set of frame bobbins from Evotech, and I gotta tell you, I would feel more comfortable with proper crash bars, which I'll put on this bike, because I plan on doing a lot of low speed exercises, you know, kind of the stuff that Motor Jitsu is always preaching. I haven't been keeping up with that enough over the last couple of years, I guess. And you get a new bike, you have to learn its tendencies. And one great way to do that is low speed exercises. But doing low speed exercises, you can occasionally drop the bike. And so you want that frame protection. All right, how do I set this? I push that to set it, I think. Okay, that blind spot detection did not pick that car up. That could have led to one splattered Raj. Let's see if it picks this guy up. Yes, that picked that guy up. Okay. Okay, so that didn't pick the first car up, but that was more than one lane over because of the buffer zone that was being... Oh, there we go. Okay, cruise control is on. Raj can now rest his right hand. Yeah, this wind protection is fantastic. I'm getting a little bit of wind on my left shoulder, which I think is mainly a crosswind. I don't think it's anything from in front of the bike, because I'm feeling nothing on my right shoulder. And coming behind these hills here, okay, the wind is evened out now, so not 100% sure what that means. I think I want to ride this highway a little longer, and if I keep going this way, I'm going to hit a toll, so let's turn around. Wow, that was more abrupt than I thought it was going to be. And I just realized I was just in fourth gear. So let's go this way. If I can get back on the road this way. Oh, this way is a toll. Oh. Oh, this is the A2. No, I don't want to be on the A2. I want to be on the A22. How do I get there? Oh, I have to go through Toowoomba to get there. Okay, let's think about this for a minute. I really should learn how to get from place to place in the town in which I live. Pretty out here. Yeah, this bike can pick up the puppies and put them down. How do I get there? So lame. it's already 11:40. So I've been out almost a half, no, not quite. Not even 20 minutes. Okay, we're good. I figure if I'm out about an hour, that's all right. He actually said an hour is cool, so I'm going to take a full hour. The bike is riding nicely right now. We are already past the point where it disappointed me last time. I could go back right now and say, okay, I'm good. I know what I need to know. Last time when I came back, he saw me come back well before an hour, and you could see he was like, uh-oh, what happened here? And I told him, and he was like, ooh. That was before that advisory had come out, so he had no way of knowing that that was going to happen. Ah, that was interesting to note. I just banged my shit into the cylinder head. Didn't love that. Oh, trucks. Random. Why would you let your trucks play right next to the road like that? Ah, I feel like I've missed an opportunity here. I should have headed right out to the A22. Bike ride's nice. I guess I have it in dynamic mode. Let's put it back in road. Yep, soften up the suspension. Soften up the throttle response. See what that does for comfort. Nice warm seat. It's nice and wide, nice and firm. I like a firmer saddle. I don't know what these mean. I don't know if that means my high beams are on or just if the headlight is on. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to spend time worrying about things like this. So what's really interesting is, or at least it's interesting to me, I guess I'm just used to tighter gearboxes than this. That's a pretty significant drop in RPM from third to fourth gear. Like I feel like I have to open the throttle up a little bit more when I shift. That's interesting. I mean, maybe I don't. Maybe cruising at 3,000 RPM on this bike up a hill is perfectly acceptable. If so, then all good. It doesn't seem to be struggling. Like it seems to be fine. It's not bouncing around or complaining or anything. Alright, Bridge Street. I know where that is. Oh, I felt the bike drop there. And there's a significant bend in my knee. So I could easily flat foot this bike without any kind of ride height assist. One thing that does concern me about the quick shifter on this bike a little bit is somebody told me that he knows a BMW mechanic, and you know, this is one of those stories. Oh, I know a guy who knows a guy. Oh, more traffic cameras, huh? Great. Who said that they've noticed that a lot of metal comes out with the oil when you do an oil change on these bikes when you use the quick shifter a lot in the lower gears. I don't love that. I think you should be able to basically use the quick shifter all the time except when you're starting or stopping. I think that's fair and reasonable. But you know, it might be pure nonsense. Whoever told me that might just be you know, somebody who's talking just to talk. I'm taking it with a grain of salt. It is a little clunkier than the Multistrada. The Multistrada quick shifter is smoother. It's winning me over though, I'm not gonna lie. It's really nice. I like the fact that I can mount my GPS up here. I can do that on the Multistrada too, but when you raise and lower the windscreen on that, the GPS is going to be raised and lowered as well. I don't love that. Let's see, do I split this lane? No, I don't think so. Light's green. I'm in no hurry. Except I do want to get down to that highway. I should have just taken the A2 and told them to send me the bill. Oh, what? What's happening? Oh, the bike is taking control. Where am I going? What? I have... Oh. It has taken me to its natural home. Okay, I have resumed control. I feel like a little bit of a jerk when I filter when there's only one car ahead of me. I should still do it. Okay, I just banged my shin again. I don't love that. I normally ride a Kawasaki Versus 650, and the extra power that this bike is, has caught me a little bit, not by surprise. I know it's coming, but there's been a couple of times where I've been like, when I've shifted gears, and yeah, it's going to take some getting used to. I will say one area where this bike has the Multistrada beat is fuel economy. I think that the Multistrada has borderline irresponsible fuel economy. It gets about 35 miles to the gallon from everything that I've heard on average. For a motorcycle, that's a little crazy. Yes, you do have to expect that when you're riding a 170 horsepower motorcycle, but I think the KTM is in that same range, and I think it does a little better on fuel. So I don't know what's going on with Ducati. I tell you what, that's an awesome engine though, fuel economy aside. And I did the math. If I do 10,000 kilometers a year, I would pay about $300 more for fuel, assuming $2 per liter. That's fine. I can afford that, gentlemen. Shift assistant clutch actuated. What the hell does that mean? I don't know what that is, and I don't know how to turn it off. Oh, someone's getting a new bin. Exciting. Wow, all these tradies leaving their tool trays open in Toowoomba. That's risky. Ouch! Okay, that's becoming a thing. So it's when I reach my legs forward. So basically, oh, that's a nice truck. So basically, anytime I'm going to stop going downhill, which is anytime I go down a hill. Yes, but I live on a hill. Hey, there's my motorcycle. It's a good looking bike. It's for sale. That's the dealership, by the way. Elite Motorcycles. BMWs, Yamahas, Suzukis, whatever those are. some farm equipment. A21. I don't know what the A21 is. I thought it was A22. Oh, that's bold. Huh. Random blonde in the passenger seat. Yeah, that didn't feel right. Okay, I officially like hill hold. Both bikes have that, so not something that's going to differentiate the two. I have now been out here for a half hour. You see me? Yes, you do. That is an excellent breakfast spot. They make really good food. They have a really nice jalapeno sauce. Oh man, do I make a right at this light? I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. Do I pull over and take a look? No, I do not make a right here. I don't think I do. Wait. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Ah! The blinker turned itself off there. Excellent. I'm wearing a mesh jacket. I don't have anything underneath it. Well, I mean, I have a t-shirt underneath it, but no base layers or anything, no hoodie. And I'm very comfortable. The saddle is making a bigger difference than I thought it would. Where do I turn now? Like I'm very comfortable. Having warm hands makes me happy. Do I pass? Have I ever been here before? Ugh. I've got to learn the roads. East Dental, yes, I've been here. Okay, I think I make a left here. Margaret Street, yes. Cafe Sage and Butler. Yeah, this looks familiar. Sure, let's take it easy. Relax. He's getting driving lessons. Okay, go back to school, kid. What are you doing? What are you doing? Taking precious seconds from my life. Oh my God, kid. Well, look. You can't be upset. He's got an L plate on the back. He's with a driving instructor. He clearly doesn't know what he's doing. Why am I getting upset over that? Just take an extra couple of seconds. Touch some grass. Take a breath. Stop being such a dick. Well, I have successfully found neutral. I think I'm going the right way. I think I'm headed towards the motorway. White Oaks. Okay. Yes, I am headed the right way. Okay. we're getting somewhere. All right, time for a pretty ride down the range. It feels a little weird just letting it lug in second gear like that, down at like -7 RPM. But it seems to handle it just fine. Okay, it's the A21, not the A22. I really need to learn these things. I could have sworn it was the A22. All right, not going to go very far. Just going to go down the hill. Going to go up the motorway a little. Good work, sir. You got this. I think the riding will be a little bit different if I buy this bike versus if I buy the Multistrada. I think if I buy the Multistrada, I'm going to be looking for twisties a little bit more, and this, believe me, this bike will handle them. I just think the Pikes Peak will be a little bit more of a scalpel. I think on this bike, I would be taking more impromptu trips to the beach, which is 2.5 hours away from where I live. See that flat-topped hill right there? I'm dying to find it and walk up it and get up onto that flat top. I don't know why, I just feel compelled. Long, steep descent, next 2.5 kilometers. At 60 kilometers per hour. So when I go to Brisbane, this is the route that I take. I might be going to Brisbane more often. And that's why I want a motorcycle like this. I love my Kawasaki. And you know what? It handles this road just fine. You know, it handles the 100, it handles the 100, 110 speed limit just fine. I wouldn't even call it buzzy. It's a nice bike to ride. It just feels a little bit better having something a little bit bigger. Man, my bike is the ultimate commuter though. It's great for everything, really. It handles really well. It handles just as well as this bike does. It's a good handling bike. It's great for long trips. It's great for short trips. It's great for any trip. Okay, 6th gear, 100 kph. Let's do that for a little while. Cruise control is on. I'm putting my hand back on the bar because it got cold. I think I'm actually we're buying a new shed soon, and I'm gonna pass the place that we're buying it from. I should stop in and tell him to get the paperwork ready. I shouldn't, because that would take time away from this ride. Okay, really comfortable. Yeah, I'm not getting hit by any wind. I don't think the windscreen is quite all the way up. I think it's got another centimeter or so it can go up. I don't have it set up for the rocker switch. I don't know what that's controlling. Oh, it says something there. No idea. Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn the controls a little bit. Alright. Rolling off the throttle does not seem to stop the cruise control. If I was chase on 2 wheels, that would bother me. Me? I don't care at all. I could probably turn around and go back. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go a little farther. Let's see, what time is it? It is 12:07. 158 kilometers more range. That's reasonable, I think. Ugh. So what happens if we set the cruise at 60 in I'm in 5th gear? I thought it was in 6th gear. Nope. Did this shift for me? Okay, that's really low. That's a little beyond where I want to go. But you know what? I can shift with the cruise control on, and it doesn't seem to make a difference. That's good stuff. How do I raise the... I don't know. I don't know how I speed up. I mean, right now I'm using the throttle, which is... Alright, let's turn around. Seems like as good as any place to turn around. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need some low speed work on this bike. I'm very uncomfortable, which might have something to do with the fact that it's just not my bike. Yeah, that cruise control is nice, man. I don't have a cruise control on my bike, and I've wanted one, but I don't want to spend too much money on that bike. I spent $1,000 on a saddle, which was more than I wanted to spend, but that saddle is night and day with the stock saddle. And considering I'm riding 1,500 kilometers this coming weekend, it was a good purchase. Speed cameras are in use. Yeah, but I know where they are, so I can speed. I can speed all I want. It's a nice bike. I might buy one. I can't say that for sure. I'm not going to say that for sure until I until I test ride the Multi. But right now, it looks a lot better for this bike than it did earlier this morning. Okay, so setting that at 100. Yeah, there's no sign of that push and pull that I was getting the last time. No sign of that searching feeling that I was getting the last time. I wasn't even using the cruise control when I got that. I was manually controlling the throttle. And no, it wasn't me rolling my wrist. It's just what the bike was doing. I would suspect that there was a sensor issue of some type. But whatever. So coming home from Brisbane at night in the winter, this bike would be amazing. Oh, the saddle is so good. I love a heated saddle. I am a fan of the heated saddle. I'm going to be wearing heated gloves this weekend when I'm doing this ride because my hands get chilly easily. But these grips, man, they're doing the job. They are doing their job. They're doing... Oh, poor little fox. They're doing what I pay them to do. Yep, the cruise control is brilliant. Let's see what happens if I go a little faster. And come up behind this guy. Let's see if the cruise... what I don't know what it's called, the active cruise control, what they call it on a BMW. I'm getting pretty close to this guy. Oh, I think it just kicked in. Yep, it's slowing me down. Now I'll get behind this guy. He's going slower. Yeah, I expected that would work. You know, I had no doubt. Pretty steep hill. I'm in 5th gear. Engine is, you know, maybe complaining a little bit, but overall not much. I was at a really low RPM there. Okay, now we got to see if I can find my way back home. This has been a really successful. I might buy this bike. I might go back and buy it right now. There will be a part of me that will always wonder what the Ducati experience would be like, but right now I want this bike. Yeah. Yeah, so everybody talks about this dash, by the way. I guess I should say something about it. It's really good. It's been around for a while. It's been at the top of the heap. I think the Multistrada's dash is really good too. The one thing that I actually think is better about this one is on the Multistrada one, the speed and the gear, the font is the same size and the same color, except when the bike is in neutral. I think they should change that. I think they should emphasize the speed over the gear slightly more. Outside of that, I think the Multistrada and BMW are neck and neck for the best dash. I think the KTM's is good too. I don't really like its fonts. I think they tried to make it look extreme with its fonts. Still better than most. The Yamaha, the Triumph, you know, a lot of them like to have little animations. Like the Yamaha has some flames on theirs. That's on the Tracer 9 GT Plus, which is a cumbersome name. I don't want flames. I want the information that I need. This gives me the information that I need. The Ducati gives me the information that I need. Triumph, no point even talking about theirs. They don't know how to design a dash. I thought their last dash was good, except for that tachometer. And all they had to do to make that an awesome dash was flip that tachometer over. So their tachometer started from here and came down as the revs went up. It was drawn in a perspective that made it look like it was coming towards you. If they had done it the other way, if they had started it from the bottom and had it go up, it would have been great. And they trashed that and came back with you know, a circular tachometer that wastes a lot of screen space, doesn't look that good, and yeah, I mean, I'm not going to buy a motorcycle or not buy a motorcycle based on how good the dash is, but I think Triumph kind of screwed that one up. Wow, this is a good bike. This is better than the impression that I had of it last time. Yeah, they've answered my questions. Maybe I'll just go buy it right now. Maybe that would be irresponsible.